Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Webb.
You are the first one here.
No, okay.
How are you today?
Fine.
Right. So here we are. This is the last week, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, now you passed your tests. So
But the score is too low.
you don't like your score?
No, not like my score.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was
Because I did better in the CASAS test in the past semester.
in the practice test.
No, in the past semester in CASAS test, I did better.
Ah. Oh,
But now it's confusing and listening.
The listening. Yeah, that was that was the old listening test that we had before we did CASAS, because we can't do CASAS listening because of the computers, right? So that was the old CASAS listening test. Hello, Tomomi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Fine. Yeah. Okay. glad to
today to mommy and you is a red teacher.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's red Tuesday. Kind of red. Yeah, that's right. We are red twins today. That's right. Well, it is Tuesday, and I guess Miss Aguirre said you didn't have any class tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, no.
Ah, so you're finished with Miss Aguirre's class, huh?
Yeah.
So just today and Thursday, and that's it, huh?
Yeah.
Only I have to do some writing tests about the use of adverb clauses.
Oh, you've been practicing the adverb clauses, okay?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. So you have a writing assignment. All right. Well, good. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about one of the things that's on our checklist that we haven't talked about yet, and that is future continuous. We haven't talked about future continuous. We talked about it way back in the last semester, but we haven't talked about it since then. So I want to make sure we get all of our checklist. Where's my checklist? Hold on, ladies, 1 second.
Okay.
My checklist has disappeared. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it together then. Let's go to, hold on here. Let me open up the checklist from the computer, and we'll look at it on the computer. Let's see here. Hold on 1 second. Here we are. Okay, let's take a look at it. All right, let me share this screen with you. Okay. Can you see the screen, ladies?
Yes.
All right, so this is what we're going to study today. Future continuous. We haven't studied that yet, but I think we studied almost everything else. Let me see here. Have we studied used to and be used to? I think so. Yes, right?
Yes.
Past perfect, no problem. Must have, may have, might have, should have. We practiced that, right?
Yeah.
Could and would you mind for requests? Más o menos, right? More or less. More or less. Yeah. Remember, would you mind is always with a gerund, right? Yeah. Would you mind moving your car? Would you mind taking that up, right? Mine plus gerund. Passive, we've talked about passive with continuous and past perfect. Passive with get. Did we talk about passive with get? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
think so.
Causative with get and have and past participle.
Mm.
To get my hair done, to get my house painted. Gerund sentence.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
one in the exam has a use causative verbs, but when I choose the answer, all verbs didn't have a past participle.
Mm.
It is have a simple or a base form verb.
Well, let me investigate. Hold on. Let's take a look. We can bring that test up, and it was in the first test or the second test? The first
Yeah,
test?
in the first test.
Okay, let me find the question. All right, let me see here. Bring up Schoology. Okay, sign in. Okay, let me share my screen here. New share. Okay. Okay, can you see the Schoology page now?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's take a look. All right, advanced class. It could be I made a mistake. It's possible. Sometimes teacher makes a mistake. And this is a new test, so sometimes I make it too fast. So let's take a look. All right, let me see here. Questions. Let's see here. Well, let's look at the previous style. See if we can find the correct question. All right. Okay, if you were more careful, you wouldn't make a mistake. Okay, that's not it. This one? No?
No.
Let's see. Hey, we had better ask the teacher. I'm a little confused. Plays so well. Because we arrived in plenty of time. Can you tell me how much this jacket costs? It's such a sad movie.
Hey,
That's-
teacher? Oh, no. Okay.
Let's
Yeah, it's
see.
me. No, it's okay.
All right. I used to swim. I wish I had more free time. Getting used to it. Suggested. Camping. Oh, Peter. This one?
Yes. In the last part is a make.
Yeah, no, this one is I had the secretary make the copies.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the person here, you have base form, right? But when you have the thing, you have past participle. So if I say I had the copies made, or I had the secretary make the copies, right?
In this part, can I use the infinitive? No.
No.
When I use the person?
Base form. With make,
Okay.
have, help, get, right? Make, have, help, get, those four. Use the base verb.
Okay. The secretary is considered person.
Yeah, that's a person. The secretary working in the office.
Okay,
right? And
we didn't say confused with this.
The copies are the thing, right? So
yeah. And this is the answer is the second.
The answer is yeah, this one.
Okay, because I should different. Okay.
I had the secretary make the copies. Now, if I said I had the copies made, that would be different.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I had the plumber fix the sink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Remember, you can have an active or a passive. The active causative is with base form. I had the students write a report, right? But in the passive, we put the thing in the second position. I had
Okay.
the report written. So this one, the answer is base form. All right, let's go back to our checklist. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's see. Separable and inseparable phrasal verbs. We didn't talk about that very much, but c'est la vie. We missed that one. What about this one? Each other and one another. Do you know the difference between these two?
Yes.
What is the
Yes,
difference
I
between
know.
each other and
The-
one another?
Each other is when you want a different thing, and one other is the same thing you want.
Not exactly.
Each other, so two people.
Exactly.
People
Each other is when you have two, right? So I could say, my wife and I support each other, right? Two people, right? But for example, all of the students in the class support one another, right? It's
It's together that word, each other or only other.
yeah, no, not each other and one another. Yeah, those are two expressions, right? Remember, if you say, I like Tony, Tony likes me, we like each other, right? It's when it's what's called a reciprocal pronoun, when it's the same for both people, right? I like Tony, Tony likes me, we like each other. I help my friend, my friend helps me, we help each other, like that. Those are called reciprocal pronouns. Yeah, and one another is when you have many people, right? The students in the class always help one another, right? So that one is a little small thing, but we didn't really talk about it. So and such, we talked about so and such this semester, right?
Yes.
So, yes, and exciting and excited, participle adjectives. I think we talked about that.
Yes.
Now there was a question on the test with a and an. Did you see that one? That was a little bit of a tricky one, where it was university. Did you notice that one where it said and university instead of a university? That was a tricky one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, it's always based on the sound, not on the letter. So, for example, we say an hour, and we say a university, right? Usually, it's a vowel and a consonant, right? But with H and with U, you have to be careful, right? Let me explain that one more time, because that's something we don't talk about very much in this class, but it's worth mentioning. So let me go to the board here for a second. Remember a or a and an, right? Typically you say book and apple, right? No problem. Those are easy ones. But we have to be careful with two sounds, right? With H and U. Because sometimes the H is silent and sometimes the U sounds like and sometimes the U sounds like you, right? So for example, a house, but an hour. A horse, but an honor. right? We have to be careful with those, right? A house, an hour. A horse, an honor. An umbrella, a university. And what's another word with you? Let's see. And let's see. And there aren't many big words that begin with you, but, and let's see. And okay, we're going to have a adjective. An unbelievable event. Oops. Union. Right, so you have to be careful with H and U. Depends on the sound. All the others are easy. But H and U, sometimes A, sometimes an, depending on the sound of the letter.
Okay, only when you use the H and the U.
H and U are the only ones that change sometimes, right? All the others are consistent, but H and U depends on the sound of the letter. Right? All of the others is always going to be A with consonants, always going to be an with vowels, but with H and U, it depends on the sound of the letter.
Okay.
So there was a question where you had to find the mistake, and it said an university. That was on the second test. All right. Anyway, back to our checklist for a second. Here we go. All right. Let's see. However and therefore, we talked about that, right? No problem. Right? These are both transition words after the periods. No problem there. Let's see. Conditionals. We talked about conditionals, right? First conditional, second conditional, and third conditional, right? We talked about all of those. Conditionals with continuous. Did we talk about that? Continuous conditionals?
No, I don't think so.
It's not that difficult, but let me give you an example real fast.
Okay.
Just so we can say we studied everything on level 6. All right, let me erase this and go show you the continuous conditionals, right? So for example, you could say, I'm working today. That's why I'm not having fun with my friends at the beach. Okay, so that's the statement. Both are present continuous, right? Right. So you could make a conditional like this: if I weren't working today, I would be having fun with my friends at the beach. Right? That's what we call a continuous conditional. And it just makes sense, right? We're just using continuous in the past forms. Yeah. So there's nothing fancy happening here. It's just we're using be and ing instead of simple past and would and base form. But we're still using past and would. We're just using it in continuous form. Past continuous and would be ing. Right? Or, for example, I wasn't paying attention. That's why I didn't hear the news. All right. Can we make this in a conditional? What do we say? If I what?
I were
But this is I wasn't paying attention. This is past. So we need our third. We need our third conditional.
Oh, I hadn't.
Okay, sería
If I had been paying
I
attention.
Had been playing.
Past perfect continuous, right? If I had been paying attention, I would have heard the news, right? Again, we're using a continuous instead of a simple, but it's still past perfect, right? So there's nothing different here. It's still third conditional. It's just third conditional with continuous. If I had been paying attention, I would have heard the news, right? So we're just changing the simple to the continuous, but it's the rules are all the same, right? Past perfect, would have, past and would. So it's the same second, third conditional. It's just with continuous. All right, let's continue down the list. Back to our checklist. All right, let me see here. Okay. All right, let me see here. Use wish and hope properly. We talked about wish and hope, right? Wish plus hope plus present and wish plus past, right? And because, since, and so, no problem there. Although and unless, no problem. We remember unless, yes, no problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. Adjective clauses with who, whom, which, and that. No problem. Maybe?
A little.
Maybe.
A little problem?
A little confused.
Remember, what's the difference between who and whom?
Who is for the person, and who is for.
No, they're both for people. Who is for people and whom is for people, but who is subject and whom is object, right? So, for example, you say, the man who won the contest is from my hometown. The man who won the contest is from my hometown. And the man, that's who, object form, subject. And then if you have an object, it would be like the man whom I met at the party was from France, right? Who is subject, whom is object. And of course, which is always for things, and that can be people or things. And we remember whose, right?
Yeah.
No problem with whose, I think, right? Whose is always for the possessive, right? The man whose computer was stolen was very upset, right? The man whose computer was stolen. And so too, either, neither, we practiced that quite a bit at the beginning of the trimester, right? So too, either, neither. And we also practice both and, either, or, and neither, nor. Wow, we did a lot this semester, didn't we? Holy cow.
Yes.
We did almost everything on the list. Wow. Amazing. Good morning, Maria Polito.
Hi, good morning. Mr.
How are
Good
you?
morning,
Welcome.
everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so no problems. So like I said today, my goal is to study the third thing, the first thing on the list, future continuous with will and be going to. So we'll study that real fast before we get out of here, and then we'll be essentially done with all the grammar. There's not much else to talk about, right? So we're going to have all of that done by the end of the semester. No problems? Okay,
No
good.
problem.
All right, now, everybody is here. Hello, everybody. Well, most everybody. Good morning, Jareen.
Morning.
Now, I have a question that one of the other teachers was suggesting. Is not my suggestion, but it's important for you because you are the ones who have to do the work, and that is this question. You know, usually when we have the end of the trimester, we have the big certificate ceremony, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people who are finishing level 6 give a speech, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now here's my question. Are you interested in that or pass for this time?
No, pass this time.
Pass? Pass.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No problem. No problem. Because some teachers were saying, hey, we should have a virtual ceremony. I said, I don't know if my students are interested in giving a speech
Yeah, because
on
this moment
Zoom.
is difficult that people.
So no, thank you. Huh?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we'll just have a class on Thursday, and that will be our last class for this year. Okay. Okay. And I guess you get a day off tomorrow because Miss Aguirre is tired. She's had enough.
Yeah, yeah.
She's had enough.
Yeah, because she teach the other class too. The next class in the accounting.
Yeah, I know. She's got 3 classes to teach.
Yeah.
She has. So I had it easier because I had only morning and evening, but she had morning, afternoon, and evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no wonder she's tired. No wonder she's tired. Now I have a question. Everybody here took the test, right?
Yeah.
Now, are you all interested in going out of ESL next semester, or do some of you want to stay into ESL? You want to graduate and leave ESL, or stay here and keep doing English?
You know how was my score?
Oh, did you see your score, Jareen?
I see it, but I don't know about your level. How much you want? Mm-hmm.
Well, you got your score was passing. I mean, the passing score is at least 65, so you passed. I mean, it wasn't high, but it was pass. So the question really is up to you. I know, Alejandra, I know you said you want to graduate, right?
Yes.
Yes, and Tomomi too want to graduate, right?
Yes.
Finished, done, no more, Mr. Webb.
No.
Get him out of here. I've had enough. No more. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore.
I prefer stay with you if you teach a
Different class.
reading
A
and
reading
grammar.
class. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. All right, and Maria, you too. You want to graduate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to do computer classes.
Okay.
In the summer, is giving the computer
They have the
class.
computer class, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I tell to Miss Aguirre.
Okay. All right. And did you all register for summer or not?
Yes,
Yes.
I
Yes.
registered, but for English.
Oh, for English summer class.
Yes.
Okay. But you want to take computers too?
Yes.
Okay. And Jareen, what about you? Are you going to take summer class?
I will, but I want to graduate it too because I need to work next. I think my store will open soon.
Okay. So you want your certificate?
Yeah. So I think.
Okay, that's fine. We can work that out. So then we have 4 graduates right here. These are my graduates. They have finished the program. Wow.
Oh, the other
Oh.
people not take the exam? Or?
They didn't take the test. No, these were the only 4 people who took the test. Well, I mean, some people took the test, but they were like level 4. Mateo didn't take the test, and Jenny took the test, but she's level 4. And
Oh.
and I don't know. Do you have more people with Miss Aguirre who don't come to this class?
No, it's
No,
the
it's
same person.
the same 6 or 7 people every time.
There they will 4 more, right? 4.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, Mateo and
So far?
Maria. Yeah, only como
Maria
7
Ray.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
7
Reyes.
people.
Yeah, she
Oh,
think
there's
in the
Maria Reyes and Brenda come sometimes, but not very often, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
only 2 times come
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the semester.
Yeah, not too much. Not too much.
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we're finished, and so we'll have this class today, and then another class Thursday, and then I'm gonna make sure that everybody gets your diplomas somehow, right? Probably what they will do is they'll print the diploma, and then they will give you a time when you can come and pick it up at the school. Because
Okay.
like, for example, what day is today? Is today Wednesday? No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. Yeah. I think like Wednesday and Thursday the school is going to be open in the morning. So maybe you could go on one of those days to pick up the diploma. But let me figure it out. Okay, I'll have talked to the assistant principal about how to get you to the diploma, and I'll give you a message about that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. But we're all 4 going to graduate, right? 4 diplomas. Yay!
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
We did
All
it.
right. Now we're gonna have a party. Okay, and dancing.
Yeah,
So-
the
so-
sad part.
So I'll put my cumbias on the computer, and we can.
Okay,
You
you
know,
dance.
everybody can dance in their room.
Mm.
Something like that. Something like that. Anyway. All right. Anyway, well, let's have a quick lesson today, and we're going to do a reading, and we're going to talk a little bit about future continuous, and that'll be the last grammar point on the checklist for level 6. And future continuous is not that hard, so it'll be an easy, quick lesson, and then we're going to read one story from the Adventures 4 book. We'll read a story from the back of the book that we haven't read before. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
All right, so let's jump right in and do our warm-up. Okay, is everybody ready for a warm-up? Even though we've been talking for a half an hour already, but let's do the verb warm-up, then we'll talk about future continuous real fast, and then we'll do our practice. Okay, hold on here. Oops. Okay. Gotta open the file again. Okay, there we go. All right. You see, it's a whole semester and I still haven't learned these buttons perfectly yet. All right. All right. Let's see. Everybody got the warm-up here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Number 1, the subject is the cat. So what are we going to say? My cat
Pet.
What's fed?
was
fed.
fed.
Pet.
The next one, yeah, it has you will over here. So
Look.
simple
You look.
present, right? If you look in the dictionary, you will find. All right. Now the next one, we look over here. We have past tense, right?
Yes.
Before he came. So what can we say? How long?
How long
Had
Has studied.
studied.
Mhm.
study?
How long? Oops. How long had he studied English before he came here? Number 4 is one classic from level 6. We have a present continuous passive, right? Present continuous passive. So what are we going to say? The tooth is being
Drilling. Being drilling.
drilled, right?
Drilled.
Drill.
The tooth is being drilled by the dentist. Is being drilled. All right. The next one has a passive right here. We were told.
Mhm.
What comes after a passive?
Not to use.
Infinitive, right?
Not to use.
Infinitive.
We were told not to use our dictionaries during the test. Not to use. Plan, infinitive or gerund?
Infinitive.
Infinitive. To ask,
To ask.
exactly. Here's our old classic while. What are we going to do there?
He was driving.
Well, he was
Driving.
driving. While he was driving to work this morning. This one has that classic expression, by the time, right?
Mhm.
Remember, by the time is usually used with our past perfect, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So by the time we finished the project, everybody
Had learned.
had learned a lot about the topic, right? Had learned. All right, number 9. Looks like our old friend, the gerund subject, right? So what can we say
Driving.
there? Driving.
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 Remember, to drive is okay, but very formal. Next one, simple past, it looks like. But what's the
Lent.
past for lend?
Lent.
Lent.
L-E-N-T, right? Number 11, Mrs. Schultz is very calm. She
Has never
has never yelled at
Yelled.
the kids. The next one is the word try.
Mhm. To see.
Tries to sit, right?
to sit.
Try plus infinitive with that when that's your goal, right?
Mhm.
All right. Typically the color white by brides at the wedding.
Work.
Has work.
Working.
We want now the verb is wear, so the brides wear white, right? So this was going to be a passive. So the color white is worn,
Is
right?
worn.
Work.
Typically the color white is worn by brides at a wedding, right? Is worn. Present tense, passive. All right. Andy, and we have a since here. So what can we say?
Andy hasn't talked.
Hasn't talked, right? Present perfect. All right. The next one says hope
To attend.
to attend, right?
To attend.
Right. Remember, we can use hope either with hope to or hope that, right? I can use hope to or hope that. In this case, hope to. All right. Number 16, for a long time.
Have you used?
Have you used or have you been using, right? Both would be okay. Have you used this computer for a long time? Have you been using this computer for a long time? The next one, I would do more exercise. If what?
If I had.
If I had some time. All right. The next one, the Dodgers, very well last year. What can we say here? Past tense negative, right? So
Didn't play.
Didn't play.
didn't play. Oops. The students dislike what?
Reviewing.
Reviewing for the final exam. Mr. Lambert avoids
Getting
fat by exercising every day. I in my yard when it started to rain. There's our when in simple past. This is a classic from level 3, right?
I worked.
I was
working.
Past continuous. I was working in my yard when it started to rain. Now, in this case, we have the word before, but it's a preposition. So Jim's going to write some letters before
Going.
To
going to bed tonight.
Going to bed.
All right. The next one, we for 25 minutes before for the bus. I hope it comes soon. Maybe have
Has been waiting.
waiting. All right. And which room next, the kitchen or the bedroom? Well, the room is the subject, so I think we need a passive, don't we? So what do we say? Will
be painted.
Will be painted.
will be painted. And this one is exactly what we're going to be talking about in a minute. It says tonight at midnight, Jim, and there's we want that future continuous. Will be sleeping, and we're going to talk about that today. All right, no problems?
No problem.
No problems. Okay, good. All right. Let me share with you my presentation for today, and then we'll get right into it. We'll go real fast because I do want to have some time for some conversation today too. All right. Does everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Continuous verbs, right? Now, instead of talking about only future continuous, I want to talk about all of the continuous verbs that we've learned before I talk about the future, just so we have them all fresh in our heads, right? We started learning continuous verbs in level 1, right? Level 1A. That was the first verb you learned was a continuous verb, present continuous, right? Remember level 1A? Things were so easy in level 1A, right? So what is he doing? He is dancing. What are they doing? They are eating. What is the boy doing? He is working. What are you doing? I am studying English. That was fun, right? Level 1. Continuous verbs, sometimes called progressive verbs, usually focus on an action in progress. Here are some examples, right? There's present continuous. There's past continuous. There's future continuous. That's what we're going to be talking about today. There's present perfect continuous. Right? Let's look at each one of these tenses carefully. Right? Form. Remember, with continuous verbs, we are creating the verb using ing form with these words: am, is, are, was, were, be, and been. Right? We have to have one of these words with ing to make continuous. Right? Gotta have be, gotta have ing. Because remember, ing by itself is a gerund, right? So if I don't have am, is, are, was, were, will, be, has been, I don't have a continuous verb. I just have a gerund. And remember, a gerund is a different thing altogether. Example. The workers are washing the dishes, right? I have be verb and ing. The mail carrier is delivering the mail. Be verb, ing. I'm looking for my keys at the moment. Be verb, ing. The teacher was writing on the board when I arrived. There's your be verb, ing. The kids were making a lot of noise last night. Past tense, with were. I will be meeting my son's teacher tomorrow at 3:30. Ooh. Whenever I see these mistakes, I gotta fix them. Give me just a second. Okay, back to business. All right, and we have been studying verbs all semester, present perfect continuous, right? So remember, washing, delivering, looking, writing, making, meeting, studying is fine, but it's not enough. I gotta have the green be verb. right? I got to have the green be verb. Now I'm going to talk, if I have time, a little later today about using what we call a reduced continuous form. And that's something that we haven't talked about at all this semester, and it's not even on our list of level 6 skills. So it's like a little bonus at the end of the year. Here, I'll give you. Present continuous. Well, present continuous, no problem, right? Level 1. Actions right now. Temporary situations. Plans for the near future. Remember, we can use present continuous for future. For example, we are having a party this Friday. Won't you join us? Right? A lot of people forget about that, but remember, present continuous is fine to use if you have a plan. I cannot use it for a prediction. Right? I cannot say it's raining tomorrow. Doesn't make sense. But I can say I'm meeting my friends tomorrow. Yeah. So present continuous is fine, especially if it's very near future. Tomorrow, or this afternoon, or later today, or tonight. What are you doing tonight? I'm seeing a movie. No problem. Yeah, sometimes we forget about that last one, right? Present continuous is present and a little bit in the future. Be careful. Sometimes simple present and present continuous are the same, but most of the time they are different, right? We cannot just use them anytime we want. Here, these two examples, right? Same thing. Lives, is living, whatever. It's not important, right? Means the same thing. But these two sentences are different, aren't they? If I say my cousin eats a lot of hot dogs, I'm making a general statement about my cousin. If I say my cousin is eating a hot dog, I'm talking about what he's doing at the moment, right? In general, right now. So remember, most of the time, like 90% of the time, present and present continuous are different. So let's be careful with that. And there's my hot dog. Ooh, looks delicious. I have to get out my grill and grill up some hot dogs this weekend, maybe. Huh? It's going to be hot today, right? Oh my goodness. All right, we got to be careful. All right, maybe no hot dogs today. But
No.
that hot dog looks pretty good, though. I'm telling you. I'm getting hungry right now. Just looking at it. I gotta go to the next slide, or I'm going to be in trouble. In level 3, we learn past continuous, right? So we learned present continuous in level 1, but we didn't get to past continuous until level 3. And remember, past continuous, we just changed it to was and were. Instead of is, am, are, was, were. Right? Actions in past at an exact time. This is all review, right? At 9:30 last night, I was watching my favorite TV program. Interrupted actions with when, something that's interrupted. Janet was cooking in the kitchen when the fire started, right? Past continuous, when, simple past. Long actions with a short action in the middle, with while. While we were driving to Seattle, we had a flat tire. Two actions at the same time, with while. Two longer actions. I was reading a book while my husband was watching TV. I was doing this while my husband was doing that. Right? Two things at the same time. Two things at the same time. So they're all past continuous. Was, were, ing. Was, were, ing. That was level 3. We learned that one in level 3. And remember about when and while. What's the difference? When plus simple. While plus continuous. When plus simple. While plus continuous. I was eating lunch when the boss called me. When the boss called me, I was eating lunch. Remember, we can put when in both positions. while we were playing basketball, I twisted my ankle. I twisted my ankle while we were playing basketball. Notice, when plus simple past, called. While plus continuous, were playing, right? Remember, that's from level 3. We had that in level 3. When plus simple, while plus continuous. Now, sometimes you can see when with continuous, but not very often. Usually, if it's continuous, we'll say while. Notice the commas, right? Remember, this is what you're practicing with Miss Aguirre right now, right? Comma when you have that adverb clause in the first position. Be careful. When we use when in the main clause, the verb could be simple or continuous depending on the meaning. Example, when the team scored the goal, the fans cheered loudly. What does that mean? It's a sequence of events, right? First they scored, then the fans cheered. But on the other hand, when the team scored the goal, I was buying a hot dog. I have a lot of hot dogs in this story today. Right? What does that mean? That means I missed the goal because I was in line at the time. Right? I wasn't buying a hot dog after they scored. I was buying a hot dog at the exact moment they scored. So both have when the team scored, when the team scored. But they mean two different things, right? First the score, then the cheer. But here, first I got in the line, and then while I was in the line, the team scored. All right. Present perfect continuous, our old friend from level 3, also at the end of the level 3 book. That's, I think, chapter 8 in the level 3 book. Right? Have been and has been plus ing. To tell how long. Remember, we use present perfect with that how long. My son is studying. He has been studying since 9 o'clock. The kids have been playing video games for 2 hours. Have been playing. Present perfect continuous. Recent ongoing activities. Remember, recently, lately. Remember, there are 5 keywords for present perfect continuous. How long, for, since, recently, lately. Those 5 can be present perfect continuous. Recently, I've been eating less red meat than before. Debbie hasn't been sleeping well lately. Present perfect continuous. Notice for and since, right? Remember, we use since with the beginning time and for with the amount of time. Again, this is all from level 3. Perfect or perfect continuous. Remember, we learned in level 3, sometimes we can use present perfect and sometimes perfect continuous, right? It can be a little tricky to use present perfect and present perfect continuous correctly. Basically, if the action is still happening, continuous is better. Example, I have visited Europe before. Action finished, present perfect. My son has been traveling around Europe for the last 2 months. Action in progress, present perfect continuous. I have read all of the Harry Potter books. Action finished. I have been reading a very interesting book about American history since last Friday. Action still in progress. Right. So if the action is finished, definitely present perfect. If the action is happening right now and is incomplete, present perfect continuous. Now, here we go. Finally, we arrive at the main point of the lesson today. Future continuous. Future continuous we use for 2 reasons. We use will be plus ing for 2 situations. Actions in progress at a specific future time. Example, don't call me after 11, I'll be sleeping. At this time next week, we'll be traveling around Australia. Right? Action in progress at a particular moment. Not now, but after 11. Not now, but next week. And then we have not how long, but how much longer. How much longer? So, I'm going to be studying English for another 2 months. I'm going to be studying. Notice I'm using going to in this case, but it's fine. As long as I have be, ing, it's still future continuous. How much longer will you be using that computer? How much longer will you be using that computer? Will you be using future continuous? Be going to can also be used with future continuous. All right, good. So let's practice this a little bit. Let's practice. Let me find my practice page here, if I can find it. Donde está? Here we go. Let's practice future continuous. All right, can everybody see this page with the guy in the supermarket?
Yes.
All right, let's look at this dialogue. A says, I need to talk to you about something. Are you going to be home tonight at 8? And the person says, no, I'm not. I'm going to be busy. A says, oh, really? Yes, I will be working at the supermarket, right? I will be working at the supermarket. What is that? That's future continuous. At 8 o'clock tonight, at that particular time, I'll be working at the supermarket. Or you could say, I'm going to be working at the supermarket. I will be working, I'm going to be working. Both are fine. Okay? All right. No problem. Everybody got the idea?
Mhm.
All right, let's practice a little bit, ladies. All right, let's see. How about I'll be A and Alejandra B for number 1? Can you see the example?
Yes.
All right, there we go. Alejandra, I need to talk
Yes.
to David about something. Is he going to be home tonight at 8?
No, she isn't. She is going to busy.
Yeah, he's going to be busy, right? David,
Mhm.
he's going to be busy. Oh, really?
Yes. She'll watching.
Yeah, but
She will be.
don't forget the
Yeah.
B, exactly. He'll be
Yeah.
watching the game.
He will be watching the game at Dodgers Stadium.
Very good, very good. All right, now Alejandra A and Tomomi B for your parents.
Okay. I need to tell to your parents about something. Are you no?
Are they?
They are going to be home tonight at AM.
No, they not. No, they.
Oh, really?
No, hold on.
No, they
So,
Sorry.
You not finish?
we're a little confused here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Okay.
start again. All right.
No, they
Are they going to be home tonight at 8? All right, Tomomi.
Okay.
No, they are not. They are going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, they will be having dinner with their friends.
They'll be having dinner with their friends, right? They'll be having dinner. All right, good. What about Luisa? All right, how about Tomomi A and Maria Polito B?
Okay, I need to talk to Luisa about something. Is Luisa going to be home tonight at 8?
No, she's not. She's not. She's going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, she will be celebrating her birthday at restaurant.
Very good. She'll be celebrating her birthday, right? Good. All right, Maria Polito and Jareen. Maria Polito A, Jareen B for number 4.
I need to talk something. I need to talk to you about something.
To your son.
To your son.
Is he going to be home?
Is Is he going to be home at night?
At 8 o'clock tonight.
No, he is not. He is going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, he will be playing soccer at the park.
He'll be playing soccer at the park. Very good. All right, good. All right, how about Jareen A and Alejandra B for your sister?
Okay.
I need to talk to you about something. I need to talk to your sister about something.
Mm,
Is she?
no,
No, not yet.
no, no.
Time out.
Okay, okay.
Is she going to be home tonight at 8 p.m.?
No, she isn't. She is going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, he'll be attending a lecture at the university.
Right, she'll be attending a lecture at the university. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Number 6. How
Okay,
about Alejandra and Tomomi?
Okay, I need to talk to you about
You and your husband.
I need to tell you and your husband about something. Are you going to be home tonight at 8?
No, we are not. We are going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, we will be visiting a friend in the hospital.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, how about Tomomi and Maria Polito for number 7, Mr. Anderson?
I need to talk to
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson about something. Is he going to be home tonight at 8?
No, he isn't. He's going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, he will be taking some clients out for drinks.
He'll be taking some clients out for drinks. Good. All right, good. Let's see. How about Maria Polito and Jareen for number 8? You. I need to talk to you about something.
Okay, I need to talk to you about something. Are you attending my class?
No. Are you going to be home?
Oh, are you going to be home tonight at 8?
No, I'm not. I'm going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, I will be attending my English class.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, and the next one. Let's see, we have Jareen and Alejandra. Juanita.
Okay, I need to talk to Juanita about something. Is she going to be home tonight at 8 p.m.?
No, she isn't. She's going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, she will be saying the rosario at the church.
Very good. Everybody know what the rosary is? Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
My Latina students know, but Tomomi and Jareen, do you know what is the rosary?
No.
It's a special prayer. You have a little necklace. You see, I have a little necklace here. I have my and then with each one on the necklace, you have to say a prayer, right? So each one of these, you say a prayer, right? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now at the hour of our death. Amen. And then you go to the next beat and you say another one, right? Yeah. It's a long prayer that you say usually in a group. Anyway, it's called the Rosary. It's a famous prayer. It's really old. Anyway, back to business here. All right, number 10, last one. How about Alejandra and Tomomi?
Okay, I need to talk to Carlos and Thomas about something. They are going to be home tonight at 8 a.m. 8.
No, they are not. They're going to be busy.
Oh, really?
Yes, they will be working the late shift at factory.
We're working the late shift at the factory. Good, good, good. All right. So that is what we call future continuous. Not so tricky, right? Not so tricky, right? It's again just like present continuous or past continuous or present perfect continuous. We have an action at a particular moment, right? That's all that continuous verbs are. We take a one moment and we take a photo of that moment. And we say what was happening, what is happening, what will be happening at that particular moment, right? And all you're doing is changing past to present to future. But it's the same idea for all three. It's one moment in time. One moment in time. So, for example, at this time last week, we were studying, right? Right now, we are studying. And at this time on Thursday, we will be studying one last time, right? So we were in the past, we are right now, we will be on Thursday studying at this time at 10:10 a.m., right? Was, were, will be. That's all future continuous is. Now, it's a little tricky, that how much longer question, right? The how much longer question is a little tricky. So let me put that on the board for a second, and then we'll go back to the presentation and do 10 questions here. But let me first get out the board if I can, and share the board one more time. Okay. All right. Okay, can everybody see the board?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, let me erase these continuous. These are continuous too, but let's look at the how long question. Right? So right now we are studying. Right? We have been studying, since, we have been studying since 9 o'clock, right? That's what we learned in level 3, right? We are studying now. We have been studying since 9. And now here's where we get the future continuous. Right? We will be studying until about 11. That's the future continuous, right? So until now, so in other words, until now is going to be present perfect continuous. After now is going to be future continuous. Right? So right now we are studying. We have been studying since 9. We will be studying until 11. Right? So until now, present perfect continuous. After now, future continuous. Okay, do you have that written down?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to stop the share for a second. All right. Let's see if we can ask some how much longer questions. Let's practice these a little bit, and then we'll go and do some multiple choice questions. So I'm going to say a sentence in present continuous, and I want you to ask me two questions. One with present perfect continuous, and one with future continuous. So if I say, for example, Carlos is practicing basketball, you would say, oh really? How long has he been practicing basketball? I say, he's been practicing basketball since 9 o'clock. And then you say, how long will he be practicing? How much longer will he be practicing? He'll be practicing for 10 more minutes. Okay, got the idea? So you're going to ask me two questions. You're going to ask me how long and how much longer. How long and then how much longer. Okay, everybody got it? Más o menos. All right. Let's start with Tomomi.
Yes.
The boys are watching the soccer game.
How long have they been watching the game?
They've been watching the game for 1 hour.
How much longer will be watching the game?
Will they be watching the game, right?
Will they? Yeah.
Now, how much longer will they be watching the game? They will be watching the game for another hour. Okay, good. All right, let's try Maria Polito.
Yes.
Susan is working.
How long is Susan working?
How long has Susan been working, right?
How long has Susan working?
Been working. She's been working for 3 hours.
Susan working.
Okay, now you're going to ask how much longer.
How much longer has been Susan?
This is going to be the future continuous, right? How much longer will she be working?
Okay.
How much longer will she be working? She'll be working for another 5 hours. Okay, good. Let's see. Jareen.
Yes.
I am practicing the piano.
How long have you been practicing the piano?
I've been practicing the piano for 30 minutes.
How much longer will you be
Practicing, right? I will be practicing for another 30 minutes. Okay, and let's see, Alejandra. The teenagers are dancing.
How long have the teenagers dancing?
Been dancing, right? How long have they been dancing? They've been dancing for an hour.
Okay. How much longer will they be dancing?
They'll be dancing for another 3 hours. All right, so you see the difference? So if you say until now, present perfect continuous. After now, future continuous. Right, so they have been dancing for 2 hours. They will be dancing until midnight, right? We have been studying for 12 weeks. We will be studying for a few more days, right? So have been ing until now, but after now will be ing, right? It's action in progress, but it's for how long and how much longer. How long, how much longer, right? Here's present. How long, how much longer? Okay, got it?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
until now, present perfect continuous. After now, future continuous, right? That's the future continuous. But again, the form is not that tricky. Will be ing. What's the big problem? People forget the be, and they say will working, right? You got to say will be working, right? If you got ing, you got to have a be. That's the rule. Got to have be with ing. Okay, no problem? No, no problem. All right, very good. So let's let's go back to the presentation and do the last two slides, which are some questions. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for some questions?
Mhm.
Yes.
Sure, why not? Can you make a good continuous verb? I hope so. We'll find out. All right, here's an easy one to start, right? What are we going to say? The housekeeper
Is making
Is making.
the bed
is
at the
making,
moment.
of course. The housekeeper is making the beds at the moment. Is making. How about this one? While we the house, Jose fell off the ladder.
While
We were painting.
we
Were painting,
Were
right?
painted.
painting.
Past continuous. Got to have the past continuous in that case.
Mhm.
All right. Remember, we're going to use ing for every answer.
Mhm.
I a little tired for the last few weeks.
I have been
I
feeling.
was.
Have been
had
feeling,
been
right?
feeling.
Present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous in this case. Have been feeling until now, right? That's what we were just talking about.
Mhm.
Many people for jobs at this time.
Many people
Many people
are
have
looking.
been looking.
Are looking, right?
Mhm.
Many people are looking for jobs at this time. That's again present continuous, right? Okay. Let's practice some more. Many, the dishes now, it's the negative. So do we use doesn't or isn't for the negative?
Isn't
Isn't.
That's right.
watching.
Isn't washing.
All right. Here's a question for how long. So what can we say here?
Have
How
you
long have you been
Have you
waiting for the
waiting?
bus?
waiting?
Exactly. Have you been waiting? Present perfect continuous. Miguel at Starbucks when I saw him.
Miguel was drinking
Was
coffee.
drinking.
Past continuous, right? We want the past continuous in that case. Was drinking. When I get home tonight, my kids sleep.
Will be.
There's a future
My kids-
continuous, right? Will be sleeping.
Will-
Will be sleeping. Brian, the guitar since early this morning.
Brian
Has been
Has
practicing.
Has been
practicing.
practicing. Good, has been practicing. And while I'm a shower, somebody called me.
while I
I
was
was
taking.
taking
shower.
a shower.
Excellent. All right, good. The end. I think I'm starting to understand continuous verbs. Maybe. All right, good. Now, let me talk about one more thing. And this is something we've never talked about in this class before because it's a little bit advanced. But it involves ing, so it's worth talking about. Okay, so now I get a little nervous when I teach this class because sometimes students get confused and they get all mixed up when I teach this. But you are very intelligent students, so you're not going to do that.
No.
No.
Thank you, teacher.
All right. These are called reduced adjective and adverb clauses. Okay. And here's the rule. The rule is with a continuous verb, we can eliminate the subject and the be verb. Right? We can eliminate the subject and the be verb. So let me give you an example. No problem, right?
No.
All right, now, what can I do? I can eliminate this and this. So, what's my sentence? My sentence can be, oh, my little things disappeared. While cleaning my garage, I found a box of old photos. See what I did? Let me see. Let me try that again. See if I can get my X's back there. There they are. All right. See what happened? I eliminated the subject and the be verb. And I just have while cleaning my garage. I found a box of old photos. I took out the subject and I took out the be verb. While cleaning my garage. Let me give you another example. All right, what do we have here? The man who is helping us with the project knows a lot about computers. All right, do you see a be and a subject? Where are they? They're right here, right? So if I take my little stamp here, I can again eliminate the subject and the be verb. I can eliminate those two words. So what do I end up with?
The man helping
Exactly. The man helping us with the project knows a lot about computers. Right? You see what I did? I took the subject and the be verb and I just threw it out. I took the subject and the be verb and I just threw it away. Right? I can do this to make my sentence a little more cleaner, a little more efficient. The man, who, instead of the man who is helping us, the man helping us with the project knows a lot about computers. See what I did? I eliminated my subject and my be verb. Now, there's one important note about this. Let me put that down here. Important. We can only do this when the subject is the same in both clauses. So, for example, while I was shopping, somebody stole my car. What's the subject of the first clause?
I was.
I.
I was.
What's the subject of the second clause?
Somebody.
Somebody, right?
Somebody.
Mhm.
So, no changes possible.
Mhm.
So I can't do this anytime I want to. I have to make sure the sentence still makes sense. Right? Because if I said, while shopping, somebody stole my car, that means the person who stole my car was shopping. Right? If you have two different subjects, you still have to keep those two subjects. You cannot just throw them away. Okay, those are called reduced adjective clauses and reduced adverb clauses.
Okay.
We use the ing, but we use it and not part of a clause. It's now called a phrase. It's called a phrase. So this, while cleaning my garage, oops, if I can get over here, select. While cleaning my garage is called an adverb phrase because it doesn't have a subject. While cleaning my garage, I found a box of old photos. While cleaning my garage, right? I took out I was. So it's possible to do that. It's possible to do that. All right, no problems?
No problem.
That's a little extra information for today.
Thank you.
Little
Okay.
bonus information. That's not on any level of English. That's like college English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now you know it for free, right? So let's try a couple of these. Usually we can use it with especially, while, but we can also use it with before and after and when. And so for example, when you clean the fish tank, you have to be careful about the fish, okay? So I can say, when cleaning the fish tank, you have to be careful about the fish,
Mhm.
right? When cleaning the fish tank. All right, so let's practice. I'm gonna say a sentence with a complete clause, and I want you to say it with a reduced clause, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let me start this time with Maria Polito.
Yes. Mhm.
While I was chopping vegetables, I cut my finger. While I was chopping vegetables, I cut my finger. Can you make that smaller?
Yes. While. Can you repeat the sentences?
One more time, sure. While I was chopping vegetables, I cut my finger. While I was chopping vegetables, I cut my finger.
I cut vegetables.
So what two words do we have to eliminate?
I was.
I was. Okay, so while I was chopping vegetables.
While you're chopping vegetables, you cut your finger.
I cut my finger, right. While chopping vegetables, I cut my finger. While chopping vegetables, I cut my finger. Okay, let's see. Let's see. let's see. Alejandra.
Mm.
After I sold my car, I put the money in the bank. After I sold my car, I put the money in the bank.
After sold my car, I put the money in the bank.
But we need to use ing every time, right? So
Okay.
after
After
selling my car,
on selling my car, I put the money in the bank.
exactly. After selling my car, I put the money in the bank. Notice, it doesn't matter what the original verb is. It's always going to be the ing when you use this reduced form.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're always going to use the ing. So after selling my car, I put the money in the bank. Okay. Let's see. Tomomi.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Harris is the detective who is investigating the crime. Mr. Harris is the detective who is investigating the crime.
Mr. Harris, who investigated.
Oh, one more time. Mr. Harris is the detective who is investigating the crime. So we're going to start. Mr. Harris is the detective.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Harris is detective.
The crime.
The crime.
Investigating the crime.
Investigating the crime. Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mr. Harris is the detective investigating the crime. The detective investigating the crime. That one's an adjective clause, right? That one's an adjective clause.
Teacher,
Oh,
the correct answer is Mr. Harris.
is the detective
Uh-huh.
investigating the crime.
Oh,
Mm.
mhm. Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see, Jareen.
Yes.
The students who were sitting in the back couldn't hear the teacher. The students who were sitting in the back couldn't hear the teacher.
Student sitting on the back couldn't hear the teacher.
Perfect. The students sitting in the back couldn't hear the teacher. So you see what those are called reduced adjective and reduced adverb clauses. You can say it the normal way, right? I can say the students who were sitting in the back. I can say while I was cutting vegetables. But I can also say it in this shorter way, called a reduced adjective clause or reduced adverb clause. But they always use ing. And that's why I'm mentioning it today, because we're talking about continuous. So here's the rule. You can have a subject and a be verb with ing, or only a be verb, right? Those are the two choices. You're going to have the subject with be, or no subject, no be, right? So while we were playing baseball, we heard a loud noise. While playing baseball, we heard a loud noise. So I have to say we were playing, while we were playing, or while playing. Okay?
Okay.
No problem?
For this moment, no.
This
Later,
moment,
no remember that.
you will, yeah. Just to give you, let me bring the board back up for just a second. If you want to investigate, I'll send you a link about this, because we have never talked about this in class before, ever. But let me tell you what they're called. They're called reduced adjective clauses, or reduced adverb clauses, right? Reduce means make small, right? That's what they're called. So if you want to, I'll send you a link of an explanation of this,
Okay.
because we've never talked about it before. Yeah, it's not on any of the checklists, so we don't talk about it very much, but it's a part of English, and we might as well mention it today since we have some extra time after the test is over. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. No problem.
Maybe.
All right. We kind of went a little bit late. Do you wanna read this story, or you wanna say enough for today?
No, read the story.
Read the
I
story.
don't know the others.
What do you think? Read the story? Okay, we'll read the story. Yeah. All right. Alejandro wants to read the story. We'll read the story. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you could, please get out your books, your Ventures 4 book, if you have it.
Teacher, I need to.
You gotta go?
Yeah, my son needs to. Did not
Oh,
have.
okay. No problem. All right. So we'll talk to you on Thursday.
All right. Thank you so much for today.
All right. And I'll let you guys know about the diplomas soon. Okay.
You.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. And we're going to page 151 in your Ventures 4 book. It's way in the back. Right? We were talking about continuous verbs today. So I thought we would read this story about actions at the same time, because that's one of the reasons for continuous verbs. And you'll see this story on page 151. The title of the story is multitasking. Multitasking. Have you heard that word before?
No.
Multitasking. Well, when you see multi, what does that mean at the beginning of a word, like in multiply?
Yeah.
Multiply.
Many.
Multi
Many.
means many, right? Multi means many. And task means what?
Work.
Task is like work or a job, right?
The work.
So multitasking is something a lot of people do these days. They try to do two things at the same time, right? While they're doing one thing, they're doing another thing, right? So let's read this story about multitasking, and we'll look at some examples of continuous verbs in the story. All right, let's see. Are we ready to read?
Yes.
I'm going to need some volunteers, so why don't we just start with Alejandra? Can you read the first paragraph for me?
Yes. Are you a multitasker? Do you watch TV and cook dinner at the same time? Do you often interrupt your work to check your email? Do you talk on your phone while you are driving? If you know these of similar things, then you are one of many multitaskers. According to a survey or study by the magazine Scientific American Mind, 90% of American adults multitask regularly.
Right, multitask regularly. Again, so what is multitasking? Multitasking is doing two actions at the same time, right? So you see the continuous verb right here, right? Do you talk on the phone while you are driving, right? And of course, I could take out you are, like we just learned, right? I could say, do you talk on the phone while driving? Do you talk on the phone while driving? Okay, good. Tomomi, can you read the next paragraph for me, please?
Okay, most people say they multitask because they are too busy, and multitasking saves time. Popular electronic devices like tablets and smartphones make it convenient to do several tasks at once, so people feel like they are getting more done. Melissa Brown of Evanston, Illinois says she has no trouble listening to music, surfing the internet, and sending text messages to friends while she does her homework.
And again, with this while, what could we do? We could say while doing her homework.
Doing homework.
right? While doing her homework. I take out she does and I put in while doing. No problem. That's that reduced clause I'm talking about. Okay, good. All right. Maria Polito, can you read the next paragraph for me?
Yes. Recent studies, however, show that Melissa and others like her are perhaps getting less than they think they are. That's because with multitasking, there are actually many micro interruptions in which people stop in one task, start another, and eventually return to the first one. These stops and starts make it difficult to concentrate, and so many multitaskers actually waste time. According to a study at Microsoft Corporation, in the study, workers who interrupted their work to answer an email or text messages took an average of 15 minutes to return to the work they were doing before the interruption.
Aha. Very good, very good. All right. Now, I want you to notice a couple grammar things here in this paragraph. Notice here it says, Melissa and others like her are perhaps getting less done, right? That's that get passive we were talking about last week, right? To get something done, right? Get plus object plus past participle. So that's because with multicasting, there are many micro interruptions. What do you think they mean by micro interruption?
Tiny?
A tiny, small, right? A small interruption, right? It's not a big thing, but it's something you have to do. Like for example, maybe somebody gives you an email, or somebody texts you, or somebody calls you with a question, right? When you are interrupted, what does it say? It takes about 15 minutes to get back to what you were doing. And here's your past continuous here, right? The work they were doing before the interruption, past continuous right there. All right, very good. So I was doing this, I had an interruption, and then it takes about 15 minutes to get back to work. All right, good. We're back to Alejandra for the next one here. Some psychologists.
Some psychologists say that the human brain just isn't good in concentrating on two things at the same time. This doesn't matter if you are only preparing a salad and listening to the radio. They say, but if you are doing a difficult task that requires thinking, like writing a report, then multitasking can show you down and cause mistakes. It can even be dangerous, as in the case of people who talk on the phone, eat, or even apply makeup while driving.
Aha! Do you see that
While
at
driving.
the end there? While driving? That's exactly what we were just talking about. That's a reduced adverb clause. While, and I can say while they are driving, but I don't have to. I can just say while driving, right? Because we're talking about people who talk on the phone while people are driving, right? Because we have the same subject, I can reduce it to just while driving. So according to this story, is multitasking bad always or sometimes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. When is it okay?
Sometimes.
When is it okay to do two things at the same time?
Only when it's prepared salen o
When you're doing something very easy, right? If you're doing
Mhm.
something very easy, doing two things at the same time, no problem. But
Mhm.
if you're trying to write a report and you're watching TV at the same time, doesn't work, right? Doesn't work. You need to focus your concentration, right? So if you're doing something difficult, like writing a report, multitasking can slow you down and cause mistakes, right? Don't try to watch the baseball game while you're correcting a test. All right, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that one. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. All right. Right. So again, it can be dangerous when, especially, right? That's why they say don't text and drive, right? Because you're distracted. You're distracted. All right. Last paragraph. I guess we're to Momi. Read the last one for me, please.
Yes. In short, even though
In short. Does everyone know what that one means? In short?
in short.
It's like saying in conclusion or in summary. Yeah. In short.
Okay. In short, even though most people feel multitasking saves time, studies show that the opposite is true. Experts or people who know a lot about saving time offer some basic advice. Try to focus on one task at a time. Check email just once an hour. Turn off distracting noise while you are working. And most importantly, avoid talking on the phone while you are driving.
And again, we have while, so we could again eliminate the you are, right? Turn off distracting noise while working. And most importantly, avoid talking on the phone while driving. I don't have to say that you are because the subject is the same. All right, no problems? All right.
Yeah.
Are you guys multitaskers or do you like to focus on one thing at a time?
Oh, multitasking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if you're a parent with kids, you have to multitask, right? You will learn about
Yes.
this, Tomomi, soon.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Now, Tomomi, when is the baby coming?
End of July.
End of July. End of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, next month.
Yeah.
That's next month, Tomomi.
Yes. Soon.
Oh my goodness. Do you know if it's boy or girl?
Yes, I know it's girl.
A girl. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
like,
Oh, very fantastic.
beautiful
All right.
name.
And did you choose a name yet for your girl?
Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet. You're still
Yeah.
thinking, huh?
Oh.
It's my husband.
All right.
Mm.
All right. Good. How about Stephanie? That's a nice name.
Eh?
All right.
You find an American name or Japanese name?
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter has one American name and one Japanese name. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Her
What is
first
your name?
her first name is Katrina. That's her
Mm-hmm.
American name, and her middle name is Saya.
Oh, Saya.
Saya-chan.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, beautiful
Yeah.
name.
Katrina Saya Webb. That's her name.
What is the name you say first when you talk with her?
Oh, we call her Kei-chan.
Oh, put together.
No. Kei-chan. In Japanese, they usually say chan for a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
So-
it's a nickname. Oh, I think it's a nickname.
So yeah, the nickname. So
Mm-hmm.
so for example, maybe Tomomi's father calls her Tomomi-chan. I don't know.
Yeah.
No?
With I
when
was
you
young.
when you were young,
Yeah.
Tomomi-chan. Huh? Do you have a nickname,
Oh.
Tomomi? Do your friends call you?
Only Tomomi.
Only Tomomi. No,
Yeah.
no nicknames. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we call our daughter Kei-chan.
Kei-chan.
Ketchup.
Kei-chan. Mm-hmm.
Ketchup.
Yeah. Kei-chan.
Not ketchup.
Ketchup.
Maybe I could call her ketchup. That would be good too.
That's my pronunciation.
Similar.
Yeah, similar. Anyway, all right. Let's see if we can answer these questions about the story, and then we'll be done for today, and then we'll have one more day on Thursday. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. It says here, look at the reading tip again. Did you guess correctly? Well, what was the reading tip? We didn't even look at the reading tip. We were bad here. What was the reading tip? Reading tip. Look at the picture. Identify the number of different things in the picture. What do you think? Yeah, I think we did. We talked about what the article was about, so no problem there. All right. It says here, according to the article, why do most people multitask? What's the reason they gave? Do you remember? They said they do two things at the same time
Too busy.
because they're too busy, right? They're too busy. They don't have enough time to do one thing at a time. All right. What did the Microsoft Corporation find out about workers who stop work to check email? What did they say? How long did it take to go back to work?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, right? It took about 15 minutes to get back to work. All right. All right. Find what the psychologists say about multitasking and difficult tasks. Underline the sentences and restate it in your own words. Well, let's find those sentences. They were in the paragraph that was right under the picture. I remember that. What does it say here? It says, if you're doing a difficult task that requires thinking like a report, then multitasking can slow you down and cause mistakes. It can even be dangerous, as in the case of people who talk on the phone or eat or even apply makeup while driving. Okay, so how can you say that in your own words? Don't look at the paper. And what did they say? What did they say? They said multitasking what? Use your own word.
Is bad to do
Because?
things at the same time.
Because?
Because.
You need to focus your attention, right? You can make mistakes if you don't do it.
You have to concentrate.
You have to concentrate, otherwise you're going to make mistakes, right? All right. And in the last paragraph, what did the experts advise about multitasking? What did they say? What did the experts advise? Did they say it was a good idea or a bad idea to multitask?
Bad idea.
Bad idea. Better to focus on one thing at a time. Better to focus on one thing at a time.
Not save time.
All right, good. All right, last part, let's do these vocabulary and then we'll be done. All right, so here we have what we call Latin and Greek roots, right? Most words in English come from Old English, right? Like if you have a word like house, that's what's called a Germanic word. But the problem with English is English has many languages together, right? And some of the languages are Latin and Greek, right? In Spanish, you know these words in Spanish too, because there's a lot of Latin and Greek in Spanish. But we have these words: multi, micro, inter, pre, psycho, and miss, right? So multi, the word that was in the article was multitasker, and that's somebody who does several things at once. Micro, do you remember the word micro? What was the word they used with micro? That was in paragraph number 3.
Micro interruption.
Micro interruption, right? And a micro interruption is what? Is it a big deal? No, it's a small little interruption, like a phone call or an email or a text, right? A micro interruption. All right, inter in paragraph 3, meaning between. What's the word with inter in it in paragraph 3?
Interruption.
Interruption, right? Interruption, right? Interruption, and an interruption is something that stops you from doing something, right? An interruption. What about in paragraph 4, the prefix pre, which means before?
Preparing.
Prepare, right? Prepare, right? And what does it mean to prepare?
Preparing.
It means to get ready before something happens, right? So I have to prepare for this class every day. I have to get ready before the class, right? To prepare. All right. And also in paragraph 4, the term psycho, what did they use? Psychologist, right? So a psychologist is what kind of doctor?
It's a doctor
Mental.
Mental doctor,
Mental.
right?
Mental
Doctor of your mind. That's right. And miss, number 4, what do they have? Mistake?
Mistake.
Mistake?
Mhm.
Mistake, right? Whenever you have miss, it's going to be wrong, right? So what is a mistake? Right?
To do.
To do
Not
something
paying
wrong.
attention.
To do something wrong, right? To do something wrong. Okay? No problems? All right. Let's forget about part B because we're running low on time here. Okay, so let me stop the share here. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. We've used up all of our 2 hours.
Oh.
All right, good. All right, so next time, this will be our last class, and we will wrap things up. But basically, we've covered everything from the level 6 checklist. So if you guys have any extra questions, bring those questions on Thursday, because this will be your last opportunity to ask me questions. So if you have anything you still don't understand, anything you want me to go over again, so it'll be like an open class. I'm not going to talk about anything in particular, but I say, hey, teacher, I want to talk about this one more time. Teacher, can we talk about this
Okay.
again? Can we look at this one more time? So we'll go over everything, and then we'll also do some conversation to finish up, to get ready for summer. All right, sounds
Yes.
good.
One
Okay.
question for you, Mr. Webb.
Yes,
If I want to use Schoology during summer,
not a problem.
can
Not a
okay.
problem. It will be open all summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can, and I'm also going to still use the Remind app to send everybody some activities and things during the summer, so you don't forget your
Okay.
English. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
All right. So if you don't want those, you'll have to unsubscribe. All right. Okay. So we'll see you again on Thursday, and we'll wrap up the class. Okay. Good work,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Webb.
And I'll let you know about the diplomas. Okay.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Have a
to
good-
mommy.
Bye.
Take
Bye,
care. Bye bye.
Maria.
Bye bye.